A year's divide. My stomach crushes into me. My imagination drifts helplessly. Secluded in Mum's coat, disappearing into the wilderness. A simmering yellow glurp. Fuck off in anger, I say. My heart and you now, feeling wildly numb. Cry a clouded tear. The black dog erupts. Daddy's glove comes on. With a yellow-fingered beast, I am a laughing crack. Meditating in silence and girth, I can't help to remember you broke my already damaged heart and danced in my foreskin. Remember us walking in that aquamint air, a kiss in the middle of the night, with charges in our hearts. I still carelessly love you after all this time. Black and leather vested as this cold air seeds my skin. As the ash drips in the blank white pages from melted plastic stubs, I ask at the door where my crusted skin lies, what is my reality? As a million eyes at one time can be staring at me, 3 fingers across, one opened eye, another finger and my thumb is weighing me down to the ground from the mirror I sees in. I look down to see that my lace is trapped by the chair. I want to touch the stars and move the moon, but she who has eaten my burnt wingless bird has got me 2 aces snapped in the deck. What is her reality? I dance down in the darkness and look high in the light for the lace of my fantasy, which is my own delusion and escape of the humdrum reality which awaits. The melted plastic from the stubs that drip on my white blank pages is the only thing that is real to me now. For he ran and died for genius and content. Aren't we all running and dying for genius and content? When will I stop running for all of this as my side burns? Isn't this our reality? Running and dying now. I asked you, what is your reality? Will we ever stop and pick up the flower, sniff it for its genius and to have content? Because in one moment, and in one day as the clock ticks by, for it will never stop, all that running will have us dead. Look out and gaze at the sun, or the miracle night and ask yourself, what is reality for you now? She barks at me this time, instead of the window beside the Buddha. She climbs up with one paw elevated as usual. I curl her into my lap. Then I say, deadly alive, what do you know that I don't? Her eyes close again and she falls asleep. Has she died before? I'm looking at her too closely now. I think this isn't real. Maybe I've died, or maybe this is just a trance. While looking at myself unconscious on the sofa, with a fag still burning in my ashtray, as my last words are, as the hot rock falls off my finger and burns, am I a hippy, or am I a saint? With a side order of confused sauce. I hate unexpected visits, as they awe at the Buddha, and I talk about sex in order that maybe she was planning on buying red or green grapes during it, but I feel yucky and shameful after she said I was going too rough in her fanny. Am I a hippie, or am I a saint, feeling sinful with pleasure and no rise? This is all love for life, from expression from depression, and I love being a hippie, smoking cigarettes and drinking black, being rude and being crude. But a mentor knows as well as me that my voice is sincere as a saint to those that need inspiration from depression with a funnel of progression. Am I a hippie, or am I a saint? As the wet ice cream drips off the honeycomb onto my brown, sticky beard. I kiss her and pray, while I sit with him over an afternoon whiskey, and he has written to the wind, should I be loving the wind, the statue, or even the spoon around my neck? I went silent after reading a few. I went and wanked over a stranger's pussy. Out of boredom and left myself with a broken dick, should I die? Then to pick myself up over a Hawaiian pizza, I'll not worry like Bukowski and Jack. Am I a hippie, or am I a saint, or even a hippie saint, whispered from his alcoholic breath. I'm not statured enough, with these demons drooling all over my brain, trying to be unbelievable. She wants to be played out. On track 15 from Condensed Soup, she cries, period, with me in the room, still alive, my mother. They were in my void, in my backyard, as her eye gleams like hers, and she falls into scarred dementia. I'm on the back wall, inside of an ex-girlfriend with a gun. It's that paradox between being a hippie or a saint, and I guess it's like my sister's white shoes, it turns ugly. I guess I will never know if I am a hippie or a saint until she is sipping a Kerouac on her sister's shelves, alive or dead. Oh, that's a bad smell. Well, actually, even bad smells have a place in love too. I'd just been misunderstood. I'm good on paper, but it quickly dissolves in the rain. She breathes like me. Just like I did when I birthed from my mum's womb. And I think today, in the shop, maybe I will never know the pleasure of my own kids, because I don't have the skills to be a father. I should have sparked that cigarette upstairs instead of her crunching away from my chest. I'm terribly frightened of an outcome that I may never see, as the rain pours down in the green I used to play in as a child. That is truly gone, and now this is all it. I see her in the hallway, isolated and alone, with nothing but a sock beside her cheek, because I am up here smoking and seeking some sense of self-righteousness, of the horror that was, that is, that will be. As I see these two lovers holding hands, and she is beautiful sparingly as I walk around this innocent green, it always comes back to them as a kiss or more, because every girl has a smell in my heart, and as she sits in front of me, as my addiction left the shelf, as they left me in the bin because of this, and no girl should ever be unhappy, and she has nice boots. She's filling those bread baps up. How fucking insignificant is your life? You should just be grateful you don't have raw chicken salmonella. Because when your ex-mother unfriends you on Facebook for making her feel miniature after a counselling session, and people may want to stick a knife in me, and I'll say, forgive yourself. Because I am searching for enlightenment, and I will always be divided, even without the knife between my ribs. But I'll tell you this as a prophet, as violence doesn't exist in a cafe. Focus in the rain, hail, sleet or snow. Capture your desire, and feel as significant as a cigarette butt in the sink drowned in tap water, and laughing might not be so far away. As I sit here, you see your mother and sister walking over a bridge, and they are still at home looking after the dirty dogs, and the smell is in a place of truthful love, while I sing in Dublin's basement, and God is a poem, and that is not a lie. Like a prince, I'm inflamed between being God and death, as he has a comb-over for a wedding and a joke in the barber's shop, and he talks about pavement rage. Will he find love on the run? He is an artist, and we are artist to artist. Are we emos in the sadness that cripples us, or are we inspirational gods like a guru on stage? But we hold a magnetic pen. We are the zap like the buzz of a wasp, either spoken or on the creamy sheet. But does it not come alive in social eyes with a big head and penitent steps? It needs to be deflated, and take a step into deprived and ill lives to see what that is all about. Because I'm more interested in people's stories that are struggling than those that are well known, because the damp is like God, it's rarely ever seen, but it can be the death of an unopened gate, so a child can walk through from the madness you were dealt. I hardly ever get mail. I enjoy the dialogue, not the war. Don't forget to send me some love letters. Peace is the substance, and trying to see God and death equally. What are you waking up to? I'm a well-kept man, like a fallen star, waking up the lines, as he asks how many poems I write a day. Everything you do is drugged from death, but do you not sympathize in your time for all that is past to God? Take a moment now, like a family. Prison is no place for a man. I see people in prisons every day. Even I'm in a prison between God and death. We can only hope for a key to explain our own righteousness. I do, with a pen. There are many other noble ways, but don't die in a prison. Be your own salvation like the rubbish of a prince. An artist of luxury, out of the depths entangled between the sensual of God and death is only so much, but you can be more. I want to light you up to be that more, because you'll get too exhausted trying to be me. God and death are omnipotent, but you can ignore them and be a flame like the click of a pitcher. Every breath, every breath, every breath makes me smile. You said you wanted a love poem. As I look into her past, and I'm not good at being wishy-washy, though there is so much momentum to embrace. But I'll give it a go, just for you. Forgive me if I stumble, and I won't fear like leather. Can you believe it's been 2 years since we parted, and it took me only a few weeks to realize from text to text that I made the mistake of losing your magic. You walked past me for the first time today. I guess it was more of a graze, but you cracked a smile like a wand's touch. That smile I adored, even when you called me a bastard and threw the remote. But I love the way you dress, the way you walk, the look in your eye, and everything about you. I've missed it. I've written and I've performed all in glorious places, but the best thing of all, in the last 2 years, is to have seen your face crinkle a smile once again at mine, and this memory will never leave my soul. I'm just sorry I didn't say hello. If all was in right guidance in our souls, from star to star, I would take you like Aladdin in the magic carpet and sail off into our sky for a life happy forever after. It's not the sex I remember, as I tear of my regret in this, but making you come was a pleasure, as it was your first and I cramped, but it's the rose petal baths, smiling at each other soaked, and a kiss I remember, because sex is over quick like a lollipop, but a smile or a laugh lasts. If you happen to hear this in your American Pie that we rewind, don't sway, because I already did and it ruined as the song plays. Because smoking and shagging don't get you everything, because I had everything, you, now lost in haunted memories, because I shouted now and again in a foreign city. Now I crumble into a hermit, as the outspoken poet and curious prophet declare the void. Writing a love poem, as you see, isn't for me, but I tell it how it is, as a life and pain but filled with so much love that has gone stagnant, because I put a stand stop to it, and they say that's a waste, but I'm already wasted for letting you ill. Even in your egg-stained, red sauce-stained nightgown, pyjama bottoms and greasy hair, I looked over and couldn't believe I was with a goddess. He said he would have recognized a hot chick, but the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I need substance, not a spank bank. In the last days, in the last moment, this was raw, but it was real, but yes, you were it. You were it. You were it. Now I see we are rejected hearts, and dreams do last only in the mind of the beholder, as I take my heart out for you, to let you know I don't fear, because fear is useless in love or life, but I did then and now I have none. But I stand up now to wipe away tears and come with a tissue of lifelong freedom, and I wave it for a sense of peace that you will be smiling every day as I wave in and out. And I don't love her at all from your fear, because what I found is that fantasy is not as good as the real thing. In this, death is needed, but like love, maybe there is more. Every breath, every breath, every breath slows down, as my heart knows it is rejected by yours. But I do this because I was in true love, and I am going to die, and it still makes me smile. I hate my heartbeat, yet I work from God, from a renaissance of dark wanks. I wait about in a day, thinking the next life is just the same as here, with the same alcoholics and the same faces that passed their turn. Yet I am reunited with them in their blue bags. We never changed in body, mind or shape, still searching for the same answers, and our prophets are even lost. Will any of us really know? Can we truly not just be at peace with Bacon's truth of the pitch? Even I don't cringe at my own obscurity anymore, but from my own obscure thinking, from a renaissance of dark wanks, I see this. The obscure is the death of little hearts that never even had a chance or the change of £100 in their torn pockets. It will take one solitary man to stand up for Bill's last speech as he knew he was dying, and to make this happen for a truly happy world out of love and fascination. As I've mentioned before, as I look at myself in the living room mirror, I realise I am only human and only an artist. I would love to be that solitary man, but I cry at my own selfish penny-dropping charity existence. I can only do what I can from these dark wanks in hopes it will inspire that man. It's not about fame, the heart says to the artist. It is the difference you can make from the words you put together to cause a catalyst for the solid man and say this: I love you life, I love you people, I love this light, and we will always love from this flick. It's not about my death or the alcoholics, even they and I stood a chance. It's all about the little hearts that died while I surrendered. Just listen to each soul that walks past, and you will know what to do straight from God to yourself. Life is all inspired from a renaissance of dark wanks, so go out now and make love. As I've said before, what is reality? When you break it down through its component parts, it's nothing. We are all lost in something we will never understand. But as I see a hunting dog so close to a bird, and all they want to do is kiss, I stand at the bottom of the stairs looking up. I walk slowly, escalating to the room of dark wanks. I am debilitated and centered for the earth to spin in peace from my only heartbeat. Thinking deeply about this, like a heart simmering in smoke, cursed for even trying it this way, like old snow on the side of a curb. I don't think he would have minded tobacco between the pages of his final book. My mind is drunk in sober wine, and I'm not dull. I try to write as easy as rain. It comes like genius thunder. We need to be someone to get through this. It's as easy as sunshine, when you're free from the shackles of that which holds you back. Time to breathe like music, and be as simple as sleeping. As the difficulty flows down a river and reaches someone new, you're not going anywhere like fear as you pulsate. You've just realised by being curled up amongst written pages is a life left for the dead. But it's as simple as a non-religious butcher and a mirror with a quote that it's all about being free. It's better than any kiss.